Surabaya is a macrovirus that infects Word documents and normal .template file, which is used by default by Microsoft Word. In this case, I'll show you a few payloads and how it works, along with showing maybe a few trivia stuff. So first of all, it will disable macro function, well, an option, and templates and add-ins with store message. So the next payload is not quite visible. It should be shown when Microsoft Word is opened, but that was pretty much for a short moment, so you probably didn't manage to see it. So in here we have 6 modules by the virus. And first one is the actual payload that I will try to show in this case. So it should show a message, long tongue micro device copied 1993 by Iceman, in status bar over here. But if I try to run it now, you probably won't see it, or it's, well, not visible for one frame. So in this case, I'll increase the for loop cycles in here to make sure it's at least shown. And now you should be able to see it. So yeah, that's another payload that shows at least when you run the Microsoft Word itself. On auto open, it will infect the documents and template file, along with adding a flag that the macro itself is installed. So under the author name TBYE93 the Iceman. This is saved in win.ini file over here. This is it. Okay, back to the Word. And then we have file save as module, which replaces save as option to make sure that virus infects each document with when it's saved with save as option. File templates module basically replaces the templates add-ins, and tools macro replaces the macros option in here with a message sorry, as we have seen. And plong is a basically developer's message. This macro was created by the Yes Man with a religious Islamic message with location Surabaya, 9th of September 1996. So basically this is Indonesian virus because, well, I'll explain it in a bit. So Surabaya is a port city and the capital of East Java province of Indonesia. And there's a high amount of Islam citizens, about 80%. Then Plong is a Indonesian movie from 1991, but I don't know anything about it. And finally, lontong is a Indonesian dish made of compressed rice cake in the form of cycling wrapped inside of a banana leaf. This is basically taken from Wikipedia, so yeah, I'll kind of stay away from that as a fact. Okay, so I pretty much explained all of this, I think. And there's pretty much nothing else to show in this case. Well, except for the infection of normal module, which did happen. But as much as I've tried, it doesn't seem to infect actual documents in Word 2000. This might work in Word 95 because this was made back in 96. So this is basically a macro for Word 95, not for newer versions, and in this case the code might not be quite updated for that. So yeah, that's pretty much about this virus. So yeah, that's it. Bye.